from, I guess, the day I was born until I got to moving around and moved to Dallas and here and everywhere. But I got out of the church for a little while, and every so often I would, like, this is not right, I got to go to church. So I would find a church to go to it and have success. I mean, and knew what I was supposed to do, but I didn't always stay there or get into it like I should. So fast forward, I went through some things, and I guess 4 years ago, seems like longer than that now, but I met Sandra, and that was a great blessing. And it's been awesome since I met her. We looked around together for our church, and the places we went to just didn't fit, didn't feel right. And she said, let's go here. And we decided to come here, and right off the bat, everything worked fine, and it was like, this is the place we should be. And so I said, look, we're gonna go to church here. And came here, and of course, I can understand the word, and I get it. A lot of times, she called me, she says I have ADHD. I want to get it and move on to something else, and work and keep, as long as I can get it in one ear and do something on the other side, I'm good. So just sitting and listening, I get the word, I understand the word, and I do what I do. I mean, I do my best to try to put it in practice, but a lot of times that's not enough. And it's kind of, it just didn't feel right. I'm thinking that I'm getting it, but I don't know if I was getting it or not. Whenever I was asked, it was put up to somebody to volunteer to do the video. I'm not going to do that. That's somebody who belongs here should do that. And Sandra spoke up and said, Everett knows how to do that kind of stuff. And I know how to do it, but I'm not going. That's not where I'm supposed to do that kind of stuff. Only in school kind of thing. But once I started doing it, I realized that was exactly what I needed, because doing that, I can hear the word and understand what's going on, and understand everything, get the feeling, and take it on in. But then I got the video, the video stuff that I do to kind of keep my mind balanced, I guess. I'm getting to here, I'm balancing myself over here doing, and so I soak it in. I absorb it more. There are times during the week I'll think of something that Pastor Raymond said on Sunday, and I have to kind of like think about that for a while, but it's in my mind. I understood what he said, but before it would go in, I got it, and I may not think about it anymore. Now I think about it, and I'm thinking, okay, something else relates to that. Let me kind of work that together. I don't know if you don't understand what I'm talking about. I get it, and I love it. I call my mom, and she's a pastor, and I call her, and we talk, and we can talk for hours about the sermon we had this past Sunday, about her sermon, about the Bible, just all kinds of things. And she's like, I'm glad you found what you needed. She said, I knew there was something that you needed. And she's glad, and I thank God for giving me that opportunity to do what I do in church now to balance myself. It's just, I get it. This past year, this 2014, it was a different kind of year. We started the year off, had a good school year going, but I didn't have a coaching job for track, which was my main coaching position, was coaching track. And so they decided to make a position for me, since I knew I was a track coach, and that worked out perfect. Got the respect of the kids and the other coaches. found out that I was a person who kind of knew what I was doing. That worked great. Sandra and I decided we needed a larger house, a little more space. That was scary to think that we were going to have to try to find a new house. That all worked out for us, and I thank God for that, because I was a nervous wreck, thinking that, oh, if this thing goes through. We were able to do that. One of the things that really was rough on me for the last year and 2 months, my son decided he wanted to go in a different direction. He didn't. We stopped being. We used to be really close. We were the twins. I mean, I was the father, he was the son. We were right there together for everything. He decided he didn't like my way of disciplining, and he was going to go in the opposite direction, go elsewhere, and make it the way he wanted. That was rough. And I didn't get to speak with him. He didn't want to speak with me. Before it was, like I said, we did everything together. I didn't have him there. Whenever he did anything, I wasn't there to help him, talk to him, and we can discuss things. So 2013 and 14 was a rough year. And I guess I substituted my kids at school for not having him around. But coaching track, I would go to a track meet, and he would be there with his school, and all the kids knew him, and they would say, "Isn't that your son?" And I would, trying to play it off. I'll say, "Yeah, that's my son, but he's in an event, and I don't want to mess with them. Let him do his thing," knowing that there was a totally different circumstance that was going on, situation going on. So I mean, that was rough. I continued to go to all his events, and I was there for all of his events. I mean, I would sit either on the visitor side or kind of sit away just to make sure I didn't upset him. A couple of times it upset him that I was there, but I made sure I always tried to be at his events. Jim and I, father-in-law, we went to a couple of events to see him, and we even tried to approach him, and it just didn't work out. Come July of this year, I've been doing some serious praying. I mean, Sandra said, "You never pray," and I tell her, I pray, but I like to pray in my special place. I mean, I'm praying to God. I mean, it's the way I do it. Just because she didn't see it, but the way I do it is the way I get it. And I get it on my lawnmower. I mean, I mow yards, so when I'm on that lawnmower and all I hear is that motor going, that I do all my thinking, and that's where I did all my praying. And I know that you can pray, and it doesn't come. I mean, God doesn't. I guess He doesn't give us this. How you say this? What you want when you pray for it, you get it when you want it. And it'll come it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. And that was my thing, just to keep remembering that. It may not happen this year, it may not happen next year, it may be many years down the road. Just keep praying. So I kept praying, and I tried to make sure I always thank God for everything first before I go into the No, but my prayer, that's the way I like. I can say that's the way I like it. That's how I do it. And come July, my son called me up and he said, "Can I come see you and things?" And we talked on the phone, and it was just like everything that went on beforehand was yesterday, and all of a sudden it was the next day, and nothing ever happened. And we were back to being he's my right there with me guy. So since July and to now, everything has been going great. I mean, he's back in my life. I'm back in his life. he's asking questions. He's wanting to know different things, and it's just awesome. And I thank God for that. One of the things I've been trying to figure. I'm always trying to find that hook, and that's my son. I ask, "Do you go to church?" He say he goes to church, but I know he's not. He's not in church. He may go whenever he thinks a friend is going, or just to kind of hang out. And I've been trying to figure out some kind of way to hook him, because he needs that hook. He's a today's kid, and you have to hook him somehow. And I have been, we'll talk about different things, and then I'll throw in, hey, let's talk about the Bible a little bit about it, and I'll give him something that I know, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Then we'll jump something else, and then we'll come back to it. But I'm trying to find some kind of way to instill in him, first off, to start reading the Bible. I've gotten him a Bible, bought him a couple of Bibles, and he'll tell me where they are. Have you opened it up lately? No, I will, kind of thing. But that's one of those things that in 2014 I didn't have a chance to do with him. But now we're back together again, and that's my thing for 2015, to get him reading his Bible. If I can get him start there, then that's where we'll start there. But God has been good to me this year. He's been good to my family, Sandra, Skylar. I can name a lot of people in my family now, but he's been good to us. And maybe not always what we want, but he's always making a way for things to come out the way they're supposed to come out. I thank God for everything that's happened to me this 2014, and I'm looking forward to 2015, living my life with my family, along with God, serving the Lord the way we're supposed to do it and the way we should do it. I don't know. If you could read my mind right here, I got all kinds of stuff just flying through. I can tell, but it's anyway. Thanks for 2014. Thank the Lord for 2014, and looking forward to a prosperous 2015.
Yes.
Give me that applause.
No, it's harder. I got too many odds in there. Stop it.
Isn't that? Go ahead, Harley.
Just had to give me that look like my mother. Yeah. She's next.
Well, I won't talk as long as everybody else. I promise. Oh, that is what I said. I'm sticking to it. I'm thankful for a whole lot of things. 8 years ago, I moved to Independence out of a congregation I've been in since I was born. And they were my family, and I loved them. And so when I moved up here, I started going to my mother's congregation. And I remember standing in a Wednesday night prayer service and sharing my testimony and saying that I was thankful God had brought me here, but I was looking for a place that made me feel like I was a part of them and that they were my family. And up to last year, I thought that I had found that, until I met that wild woman in the other room who introduced me to God, to who He really is, showed me how to really worship. That's not showing up on Sunday morning and Wednesday night and doing my duty. See, God did give me a gift of how to love people. I've been that way my whole life. I've had people always tell me, oh, you just let people run and walk all over you, Harla. Because I was always quick to forgive. Never hold grudges. I don't know, it was a gift that God placed within me. I would let people, they can do who knows what, and I would always forgive and go on. I'm thankful for a whole lot of things. I am thankful for every single one of you. I can tell each one of you something of how you've touched me in some way since I've been here. I'm thankful that God gave me a mission to take care of her. Do you all know how she is? I didn't know what I was getting into, but I knew that God had a plan for me, and I had to be obedient. But He's moved me up higher than I even imagined, and I know, just like you said, I know that it's going to be even better. It's getting better. And by the way, since we're on you, when what was his name that we used to teach the Tuesday night class? I can't even. When 2 days after Arthur left, God spoke to my mind, and I shared that day with Delinda that God had made a space for you. I didn't know what you were going to do. Now, I've held that under me all this time, waiting for the right moment, but tonight when you spoke that, I told Delinda, yeah, that's why I got up and did that little dance over there, because I got to finally tell you. I know that we're all where we're supposed to be. God's preparing each and every one of us for what we're going to do. He's got to have a people that are willing and obedient, that are all willing to love. I'm so thankful that I was accused of things when I came here, because I grew. And you have all grew. I'm thankful I was homeless, because I wouldn't have been able to minister to homeless people had I not experienced it myself. I'm thankful that God placed within me the knowledge to do things naturally and to depend on Him so that I could be an instrument to help someone who only had 2 months to live. It's been 1.5 years, and look what God's done. Not just for her, but many people here. I know there's healings in this very room, and you're getting your finger. It may not be right now when we think so, but Gloria, God showed me that. Every day, do. I'm very thankful. I've seen bridges built back together. I've seen people learn to love each other here. I'm very thankful I didn't run when I wanted to run. I'm thankful for a wonderful pastor who's learning just like we are, and he ain't afraid to admit it. And I'm very, yeah, breathe. You said that. I'm so nervous. I broke out. I'm not kidding. I had to go to the bathroom, make sure I didn't have hives. I knew I was coming up here, and Delinda's like, "You all broke out with something," because I knew God wanted me to come say something, and I didn't want to do it. But then Gloria gave me that eyeball. But I love you too, Gloria. You better quit laughing, Mark, because your neck, buddy, God showed me a lot of things since I've been here. Oh, brother. Anyways, I'm very thankful for 2014. It's not been always easy. But hey, He never said it would be easy, did He? But it'd be worth it. Oh, with Him forever. So now I get to go sit down, and I see I kept my word. I didn't talk too long. I love you all. They're not itchy. I'm just see. Ooh, nerves or something. You gotta give that eye that Gloria give me.
You're the eye, Gloria. Everybody give her the eye.
That's where I got that.
Oh, okay, I was waiting on her. Oh, no.
She passed that foot salt and it comes over to
I'm gonna go up there and stay up there, so.
You all think.
Yeah, Halloween.
You can do it.
Oh, that devil's a liar.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
Sunday morning, I stood up here in the backup singers, and I stood up straight and tall through the whole service, and I haven't done that in almost a year.
Yes, amen.
It's not my back. God has healed my back. Now Satan's putting it in my foot. Get it out. Don't know why. I know why he's putting it in my foot, because I'm declaring that I will dance again with
That's
Lyra
right.
and Gloria.
Yes, ma'am.
So Satan's trying to stop
Charlie,
me.
well,
That's okay. I'm a winner and I'll do it. But, oh, I have always been, I have 5 sisters, there's 6 of us girls. And I've always been, I'm the oldest. And then there's Sandy and Tony, Diana, she's in Oklahoma, you don't know her too well, and Rosie and Betty. And growing up, we were always in church. And Mama took us to different churches, and we all sang. I have 2 sisters that play the piano. Mama played her banjo. The rest of us just played tambourine and sing, I guess. But we would go to different churches and sing. We would go to hospitals and sing. We would go to nursing homes and sing. And that's in my heart to do that. But because of my, what do I call it, my condition? I don't know. I can't do it. I was with hospice. I was a volunteer with hospice. And I so enjoyed being with hospice and going and visiting those that were, well, they were dying. And never dreamed that I would have to have a hospice for my husband. We were married for 42 years. The